have been the number one guy around here. It's because I let you be the number one guy around. The thing that's ever been a whoop that trick era was because I allowed there to be a whoop that trick era.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest, and new
Acknowledge us.
Hey, guys, we here at the red carpet ring, guys. We're here to talk about WWE NXT, the most recent episode of NXT. We talking about the Fallout episode following NXT deadline. Let's get the likes as we come into the ring. We also going to talk about the results of NXT of this episode, the first episode of deadline, and then we will also talk about current news. And we also talk about the bonus round. Stick around for will Oba Femi win the NXT title. Who? So I just want to say that. We had just finished our last PLE of the year for the NXT brand. And we will not have an NXT, another PLE for a good minute. But let's tune into it. Let's see what else is going on. And we are getting prepared for NXT New Year's Evil, which will be coming up the first week of the year. So with that being said, guys, let's tune in. Let's check it all out with it. Before we do go any further, guys, let's also see who came into the ring before we do go further. Salute to you, Giulia's good bread. Who? That's right, Oba Femi. He coming. We here on live on Facebook and X as well, guys. And also, we gonna get some good cover ground. Before we do though, let's look over the NXT match card for NXT. We'll go over what went wrong with NXT as well. But let's look over this match card first before we get to NXT. Let's look over that for a couple minutes and we'll talk about it. All right, as you can see, guys, here we got both Giulia and Oba Femi talking about their wins as they approach the champions for NXT New Year's Evil. We also got a one-on-one match, Javon Evans versus Wesley. We also have as well a tag team match of Hank and Tay versus, I can't remember them guys' names, forgive me. We have that. And we also have a match, another tag team match for women's. We're talking about Fatal Influence, Jacy, Jayne, Jazmyn Nix versus Gigi, Dolin, and Tatum, Paxley. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Beginning the first segment of the night. Giulia, she came out to the front, Roxanne Perez. She said that, she is the Women's Iron Survivor. She's going to challenge for the NXT Women's Championship. And she's going to win this time, and the results are not going to end like it did once before. Before Cora J returned at October 1st, NXT CW debut, and cost Giulia the NXT Women's Championship. So she came out and talked about that. While she was talking, the project going to come out. And she said that no one's on her level. She complimented the women on the NXT Women's Iron Survivor Challenge match. But despite all that, no one is still not on her level. And the thing about it is, before things could get really, really tense, we see Cora J come out. She came out with a kendo stick. And when she did do that, and she it was gonna they attacked Giulia. Giulia attacked Roxanne. Then Roxanne and Cora attacked Giulia. And then Kalani Jordan came out to make the save. As we know, normally Stephanie Walker would have come out to make the save for Roxanne, for Giulia, but she was attacked backstage, which we know was by Cora Jade. And next thing you know, Kalani and Giulia was upset about the attack. They talked to Ava backstage, and for one-on-one later that night, we will get the main event. It'll be a tag team as Giulia and Kalani teamed up for the first time ever versus Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. So that kicked off NXT. Not bad way to kick it off. We knew that Giulia had lots to say. We knew she was gonna run that back. Talked about coming for Roxanne, coming for a title, all of it. It was a good way to talk about the upcoming match. NXT New Year's Eve is going to be definitely something special. Definitely something special. So I can't wait to see how they're going to play that out. But as we know, they're going to do their thing like they always do on NXT. But yeah, it's definitely a solid one. Well, other than that, though, guys, that was it for that particular thing. I don't know if you guys saw that opening. But we'll see what else happens when it comes to NXT New Year's Evil. You know, these two won't definitely throw down. Only time will tell how they're gonna do this one. Cannot wait to see how they're gonna play this out. All right, with that being said, let's move on to the next part of the show. First match of the night, we had Wesley versus Javon Evans, 1-on-1. Now we know these two had a match before, and it was solid. And Javon Evans was the victor in the first one. And this match would be no different, despite the efforts by Wesley, the heel tactics and everything that he does. It turned out that it was going to be Wesley on the losing end once again. Javon Evans, he definitely showed out in this match. He showed out. He's definitely the future. Has a bright future ahead of him. He saw all. I guess he knows Wesley well now. He saw all the cheap tactics that he was trying to pull, and at the end of the day, he connected with the middle of the road finisher to pick up the win over him. And we know he's still a few off from us, but Wesley got that work by Javon Evans at the end of the day. He definitely got that work, and he got it very handsomely well.
So whether you like it or not, you about to get that work, son.
So it was a good match by these guys. Also, I love the high-flying styles of both Wesley and Javon Evans. They complement each other so well. They both got good style. And like I said this myself yesterday when I saw this. He was talking about, Ricochet left. We were not getting another high flyer like that, but we don't need him. Obviously, been replaced by not one, but two guys. And the names Javon Evans and Wesley, younger, fresher, maybe be better than Ricochet in the near future.
And that is undisputed.
So this was a good match between Javon and Wesley. Javon Evans, I could definitely see more opportunities coming his way. I can see him becoming a future NXT North American champion within 6 months to a year. Expect us to be in the program with that. If Tony D'Angelo's still champion, whoever it is, if not, at least the NXT Heritage Cup, currently held by Charlie Dempsey by the No Catch Quarter Crew and the leader of No Catch Quarter Crew. So expect some opportunities come his way. Wesley still in his new heel role. He'll get some stuff coming his way too, but you can't deny the young OG's talent, and that name is Javon Evans. Let's continue on the next match. We got here the North American Championship. Tony D'Angelo versus All Eagle Ethan Page. Now, Ethan Page been down since losing the Iron Survivor match. He actually did well in that match. Very good heel tactics, but he did not win. And he said he didn't know if he's good enough to even win the NXT Championship anymore or do anything. He was contemplating even being done, period, after NXT deadline. Now, Tony D'Angelo came to Ethan Page while he was sitting down. He saw he was down. He offered him an opportunity to challenge him for his championship. Now, initially, at first, Ethan Page did not want to do it. He said the North American title is beneath him. He basically pulled a Hulk Hogan on him.
No, brother, it doesn't work for me right now, you know.
And as soon as he said that, Tony D'Angelo ran up saying, "Who wants an opportunity for this belt?" All the men in the locker room jumped up. Then Ethan Page had to change his mind. He said, "You know what? I'm a challenge for this belt." Then Tony D'Angelo says, "Beneath you." He said, No. I need to prove myself. Can I still go?" And that's exactly what he did. And they had the match later on that night. Now, when they had the match later on, despite the efforts of Ethan Page, he tried everything he could. I'll give him that. He did put in the work that he could go. But it's just some things he could not get down. He didn't look himself through the match. You could tell he was down himself throughout the match. You could tell Ethan Page was not confident like he normally is. And Tony D'Angelo, he was moving exactly how a North American champion should. Everything Ethan Page thrown at him, he threw it right back. There was no near falls, you name it. The thing about it is, Ethan Page, he lost the match after a spine bust from Tony D'Angelo, 1, 2, 3. And then Ethan Page looked down afterwards. And then he said afterwards, when he was backstage, he couldn't win the NXT title. He couldn't win the North America title. He still doesn't know where it's to go in his career. Even though he has won the NXT title, my guess is with Ethan Page, he's either going to go to the main roster very soon. He's going to get called very soon. Remember, we do have the transfer window going on. We have the transfer window going on, guys, and it's only a matter of time. And they said that it wasn't just Raw and SmackDown people that was going to get moved around. It was also going to be NXT people. It's calling it right now, expect Ethan Page to show up on SmackDown, on Raw. Maybe he's the mystery opponent for Carmelo Hayes. I don't know. But I will say this, that if he couldn't win that belt, and I said that when I was watching it, he's either going to win or he's going to go to the main roster. There's nothing else more for him to do storyline-wise. Why should he remain on the NXT brand? It doesn't make sense for him to. So we can expect him to go to, like I said, Raw, SmackDown. He could very well much do that. I would not be surprised if it comes down to that. Because Ethan Page, we have to remember, unlike most of the men and women on the NXT brand, Ethan Page is, I believe, 34, 35 years old. He's older and he's had more experience. He's been wrestling for 20 years. He's been wrestling on the Indies for many years. He wrestled in AEW. So he's not no spring chicken and he's not a rookie either. So expect WWE. We've seen this many times with the veteran wrestlers. They either don't go to NXT, like an AJ Styles, for example, or what they do is they stay on NXT for a little while, like Ricochet was, and they eventually make their way to the main roster due to the age and experience. So Ethan Page may not just be on the NXT brand anymore. He may very well just be gone. He may very well just move on and go on to, like I said, one of the main brands. Could it be this week? Could it be next week? We don't know. But since they announced this whole, like I said, the transfer window, anything is possible. I will say that. But if so, he had a good run, a good short run. He won the NXT Championship, like he said, in only 4 matches on NXT. And He main evented PLEs. He called it not NXT, NX Me. So we're gonna see what else is gonna happen for All Ego. If you have to ask me, All Ego needs to lose that ego and just call it what it is, and maybe just give up and maybe see what the next move is gonna be for him. I definitely see something else about to happen with Ethan Page's character. So be on the lookout for that. I will say that. So I do expect something else to go on. So we'll see. And Ethan Page, storyline wise, there's nothing else more for him to do. I can't see him really moving along and staying on NXT, especially with the plethora of talent that's on NXT today. And it's not like we don't have anybody on NXT. We have a lot of people on NXT. And I'm not just talking about the women either. We got a lot of men on NXT. We got, besides Oba and Trick, we have Wesley, we have Javon Evans, we have Tony D'Angelo, we have other guys that's on the brand. We got tag teams, we got Axiom, Nathan Frazier, we still have veterans like Sean Spears, we got Josh Briggs there still. We got a lot of guys on the roster, so only matter of time when that Ethan Page is going to go to the main roster. Let's be serious here. A lot of things that could happen next. So I don't see any much more room for him. And if he does go, good for him. But only time will tell. I will keep my eye out on Ethan Page, All Ego. And if so, he had a good run. It don't make sense for him to have a long run, but a good run. So I have no problem with that. No problem at all him going to the main roster, wherever show he goes on. He has a good character. He's good as a heel. He plays the heel very perfectly. He acts very well in it. I don't know so much how he would do as a babyface. I watched him at AEW. He was babyface, and the babyface character went in for him. Maybe heel is just the character for him, or maybe that is the babyface character will work. It depends on booking. So we'll see what else happens with that. And that was after that match. Let's go on to the next part of the show. All right, we had a segment here. We had a segment of Trick Williams and Oba Femi. Oba Femi has won the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge for 2024. He is set to challenge Trick Williams for the NXT Championship, and that will be at New Year's Eve, which will be January 7th. So with that being said, these guys are going to go head to head. Now, Oba Femi came out. He said that he's done a lot. He made a lot of noise in this short period of time. Remember, he the longest reigning North American champion. But before he could really get into it, Eddie Thorpe come and interrupt him. And Eddie Thorpe said that Oba Femi attacked him backstage. He said, "I know it was you." And then Oba Femi said, "That's a strong accusation. How did you see me attack you?" And Eddie Thorpe said, "No, it's from behind." But see, it was a lot of power, a lot of force into that. Only one person in the locker room has that kind of power, and that's you, Oba Femi. And then Oba Femi said, "You know what? He wasn't worried about him." Eddie Thorpe also won a title shot from Trick Williams later on. Trick Williams dubbed that. But Oba did go back to Trick Williams. Oba told Trick Williams, "Hey, Trick Williams, you are the champion. You are the most popular guy in the brand. But there's only one reason why you're the most popular guy in the brand and why you got your rank going the way it is." And he explained it to him very nicely.
You have been the number one guy around here. It's because I let you be the number one guy around. Thing there's ever been a whoop that trick era was because I allowed there to be a whoop that trick era.
So Oba Femi told Trick, the only reason you allowed to come to the top and be NXT champion and have the whoop the trick era because I let that happen. Meaning that Oba Femi was not focused on Trick when he came into NXT. He focused on North American champion, and in due time he will go on to focus for the NXT championship. Now, I hate to say it, but Oba Femi got a point. He's been doing it. He's been wrecking havoc ever since he walked into NXT.
I'm tired of being nice. Tell me when I'm
stop telling lies.
So he has a good point there. I believe if Oba Femi went immediately for the NXT Championship picture instead of the North American Championship picture, would Trick Williams be will he ever want an NXT title? Would that ever happen? That remains to be seen. We don't know. But I will say that Trick Williams replied back. He said, Oba Femi, we're gonna face off with NXT New Year's Evil, City of Angels. So we two big stars NXT. They are going to have a clash of the two top guys in the NXT brand. You got the champion and the challenger. So it's definitely gonna be one. And then, like I said, already folks start complaining, I should get a title shot, yada yada. You're supposed to be the leader of the locker room. Trick just knocked him down, gave him that work. Well, so deservedly. Like, AEW was so awkward standing there, like, dude, you're not. It's about Trick or Oba. Even the crowd was saying, Eddie, go, go, go. So I liked how Trick gave depth, like he decked Eddie Thorpe.
Yeet.
So yeah, he definitely gave him that. He definitely got him. And we're gonna see what's gonna happen January 7th. Definitely gonna see what the next move is gonna be. So with that being said, that was the end of that segment. Let's see what else is going on. Let's get to another match. We have Fatal Influence, Jacy, Jayne, and Jazmyn Nix versus Gigi, Dolin, and Tatum, Paxley in a tag team matchup. This match was nothing crazy to talk about. Jazmyn Nix still rough around the edges, not the experience. I think she's only been in NXT maybe a year. Jacy, Jayne did what she could do, and we had Gigi, Dolin, and Tatum. They worked very well together. But also during the match, Fatal Influence able to sneak up on Gigi and Tatum. They won the match. However, they was attacking them. All three members of the Fatal Influence, including champion Fallon Henley. But then we got the return of Shotzi. Shotzi has returned to WWE, and she returned to NXT. She was last seen, I want to say, last Survivor Series. Around that time, she was on SmackDown brand. I don't know what's going to happen now. That like I said, with the whole transfer window, should Shotzi go back to SmackDown, or is she going to return back to NXT? I don't know what's going to happen with her character. Seemed like she very well met similar character match with Gigi and Tatum. I don't know if they're going to be a trio. I don't know how they're going to play that out, but it is a transfer window. We're going to see what's going to happen next. So definitely interesting to see. With that being said, let's get on to, before we get to the main event, there were other segments in the show and matches as well. So let's talk about it. So there were other segments here. Let's see what else is going on. I do know one segment here. It was backstage. We had Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. They showed up on NXT. So Ruka and Zarya were talking about the Iron Survivors Challenge match. So Lash and Jakara interrupted them, said they would never win. They were in it. So they're going to have a match next week. Tag team. It's going to be Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson of Metaphor. They're going to team up and they'll go against, for the first time, Zarya and Ruka. So we'll see how that goes. So they're going to have a little tag team match, like I said, a little run-in. But other than that, though, guys, that's one part of the segment that was going on during the show. Then also, too, we had another segment here on the show and matches. We also had one match here was the Hank and Take tag team match. They had a tag team match against, Tyson DuPont and Tyreek Igwe. These are new guys. I don't see them much on NXT. I think they're more NXT level up. Either way, don't know much about these guys. I will say that that's what's going on with that. They won that match, Hank and Tank. Tyson wanted to shake hands, but Tyreek didn't. And also, we'll get into Eddie Thorpe, and Ava. So with that being said, let's get into the main event of NXT. We had Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez team up. A tag team match for Giulia and Kalani Jordan. Roxanne and Cora dressing up, of course, dressing like as usual, matching as usual. They went and had a match against these girls here, Giulia and Kalani was on fire. They did their thing in the match, and so did Jade and Cora and Roxanne. Well, I will say, Cora and Roxanne was losing most of their matches. Think about it, they lost the 10-woman tag, they lost another tag team match at Halloween Havoc, and Cora Jade's been losing all her singles matches since she returned. I'm glad to see a W, not just for Roxanne, but especially for Cora. So, like I said, this all started from the beginning of the show when they attacked Giulia, attacked Stephanie, then Kalani for the save. But however, this was good, very, very good. I will say that this was a good matchup, solid match. I like how like I said, Cora, they always on fire. Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez attacked Giulia during the entrance. And like I said, and Kalani came out and attacked both of them as well. And I like how Kalani got the hot tap Giulia. She hit Jade over Cora Jade on the top rope. And Roxanne Perez, she's showing a lot of fear going to Giulia. Then Giulia hit Roxanne with a shooting star press. And for a near fall that Cora Jade broke up, Roxanne, she tried to do Pop Roxy. That didn't work. I know she got, I believe, Giulia outside in the apron. But like I said, Cora Jade, not only she got the pinfall for the team, they got the win. And next thing we know, Stephanie Walker came out. She returned. She turned around. Her music hit. Cora looked around and she was behind her. And Cora Jade just ran off. Next thing we know, that ended that match before we get to the end part of the show. And it's this part right here that I mentioned a few minutes before this match here. Now, if you look here, this was Eddie Thorpe and Ava. They had a contract signing. Ava told Eddie Thorpe next week there will be a match, one-on-one match next week for the NXT Championship. Eddie Thorpe versus Trick Williams. And, Ava saw that he signed it. It's done. And Ava said, we're going to find out who attacked you. Eddie Thorpe said, I know who attacked me. You're looking at him. And when he said you're looking at him, he said, I set up my own fall. And he said also, it was a good way of doing it. He said, why go through a 25-minute Iron Survivor Challenge match to potentially win that match, get a number one contender slot? And I pulled the trick I pulled, and I just got the match one-on-one for next week. Clever, but Ava was pissed. And I have to say, I got to give, that was a good twist on that story of who attacked Eddie Thorpe last week on NXT. So I'll give him a super champ for that one because we did not expect that one. He gets a super champ for that.
Need believe, yes, we believe in Joe Hendry. Suck it! Woo! What? Yeah!
That was crazy of Eddie Thorpe. He went in on that one. Did not expect that at all. And that closed out NXT. That was the end of that show. So with that being said, guys, we had, like I said, some good segments here. Giulia and Roxanne kicked off the show. Oba Femi and Trick went in on their promo. We had that segment going on. Of course, we had Fatal Influence tag team match. And then we had another tag team match of Hank and Tank Javon and Wesley, the chemistry is undeniable. It's undeniable. It's great. You guys work very well together. And also, too, we had a very good, solid North American Championship match, Tony D'Angelo versus All Ego Ethan Page. We had a good main event of Roxanne Perez and Core versus Giulia and Kalani. In an okay match of Fatal Influence and a return of Shotzi and 84 pulling that swerve. Somewhat rating of NXT of Oba Femi and Giulia appear and all the other matches going on. 4 out of 5. I thought it was a great, great show. Good show to start after the NXT deadline fallout because we do have NXT New Year Evil coming around the corner. So that's going to be more likely to be a TV special. I don't think it's going to be a Peacock special. It'll be a TV special probably for CW. More likely, I'll look more into the listings of what's going on. But I like what was going on, though. Very, very good one. I like what they was doing. NXT always have great storylines. Very good storylines going on. So, got to give it that. Now, next week, let's talk about next week's matches on NXT. Let's see what happens next week on the show. Next week here, for next week's matches announced, we do have, like I said earlier, we have the NXT Championship match. Eddie Thorne will challenge Triple H for his title. We do have Oba Femi versus Axiom. Axiom requested that match. I'm going to talk about that. He requested that match against Oba Femi because of what he did to Nathan Frazier in Iron Survivor. And also Nathan Frazier requested without Axiom knowing. Neither of these guys knew it. Axiom didn't notice, but Nathan Frazier requested Nathan and Axiom themselves to defend the NXT Tag Team Championship against Gallus. That will be next Tuesday. And also we have, like I said, shown as a segment, Last Legend Carl Jackson will have their first match with NXT in a minute. So Last Legend and Jakar Jackson will be having their tag team match against Zarya and Soul Ruka. So they'll have their tag team match there. So we're going to see what's going to go on with that. But with that being said, though, let's move on to what went wrong with NXT. So let's talk about it. So we're going to see what went wrong with the show. Now, despite the rating I give this show, whether it's an A, B, C, D, whatever it is, regardless of that, I'm going to always talk about what happened with NXT, what could have went better, what could have been fixed, or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to talk about that in a second. Zone, salute to you, man. See you in a minute. How you been? But like I said, we're gonna talk about that in a second. And of course we got current news, and we do also have bonus round. So let's not miss out on that. So let's talk about that, and we're gonna talk about that in a second. Let's see what else is going on. Other than that, though, guys, this is. Man, there's so much going on in the wrestling world. We really in the wrestling boom. I gotta say that. We really are in the wrestling boom. But other than that, though, guys, one thing I will say, I got a feeling that something's going to happen at a very interesting twist going to happen at NXT New Year's Evil. I don't know why I have that feeling, but we're going to see what else happens next. What's the next move going to be? So, with that being said, let's go and get into it. Give me a second. We're going to get to that in a second right now, and we're going to talk about these issues here that's going on with the show. Well, what happened with this particular show, I should say. So, let's get into that. We're going to see what could have been improved, what could have been done to make everything better as a single whole at the end of the day. All right, let's go over a couple. The first thing I saw that was an issue on the show. Over that right now. All right, first thing I'll talk about what went wrong with the show. First thing I saw wrong, Ethan Page. He's showing signs, like I said earlier, of leaving NXT and going to main roster. The question is he ready? Is he ready to leave NXT? Is he ready to go to the main roster? Is that a possibility for him? Like I said before, Ethan Page, long-time veteran of wrestling, wrestled for 20 plus years, been in the indie scene, AEW, now NXT. Now he's a former NXT champion. But is he ready to go to the main roster? Is he ready to go to Raw, SmackDown? Will he make noise when he go over there? That is the question. Will he make noise if he does that? So that remains to be seen. I will say he has the character thing down. He's good with that part. I'll give him that. But I will say as well, where was Ethan Page won't be so much about matches. I think his big thing, if he's ready, because he has the wrestling experience, character, and the right storylines for him. If he has that, he might be ready to go to main roster. Like I said, he's in his mid-30s now. There's nothing else for him more to do on NXT. My thing is, if he goes out there too early with NXT and he's not ready, it's going to come back to bite him, or will they trap him back down to NXT, or will he stay on NXT too long and then he's going to start, being just an old age veteran on the NXT brand. So I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 if they're going to utilize him right on the main roster. So it's going to be a 50-50. It's still going on the list.
You know what's going to happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So I don't know what's going to happen with Ethan Page on this one. I really don't understand how that will work. I'm not sure on this one. I'm really not. I'm not sure about this whole thing, if this will work or not. I'm not sure if he's ready to go to the main roster just yet. I don't know if he's going to go now or sometime early next year. So that I'm not so sure if that's going to work or not work. So that I don't know. We will have to see how they're going to play this whole thing out. That's the only thing I would say. But I'm not. I don't see it. I'm not sure. It's a good. It makes sense for one main roster, but I just don't know if it's ready. I'm not sure about that so much. That I'm not sure about. So I gotta see how they're gonna play this whole thing out. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this will go. I'm really not sure how this whole thing will work. So we gotta see. We gotta see how this whole thing gonna work out with Ethan Page. I really hope that he does get his due and they do right by him on the main roster. Like I said, I know he's been like I said, down with his character. He's lost his smile. No all ego. He really don't even have any ego at all. So I'm not sure what they're gonna do next with him. I'm not sure what's next going to happen. I'm not sure at all. I don't know how this is going to work out. So I don't know. I really hope something works out. If not, it's not really going to help. It's really not going to help them at all. So we'll see what else is going to happen on. And maybe if they do right by the man, things will be done correctly. But I would love to see what the next move going to be with Ethan Page. I would love to see how it's going to go down. So that's my take on Ethan Page. Let's move on to the next thing. All right, next thing I want to talk about what went wrong with NXT. Nathan Frazier, Axiom, and Nathan Frazier, Axiom or Fraxiom, they're just not a believable tag team anymore at the deadline. Storyline wise, not a tag team. And the reason I say that, because despite Nathan Frazier getting the snot beat out of him at the Iron Survivor Challenge that opened up deadline, and then to go and have Axiom carry the whole tag team as a whole, defend the titles against No Catch Quarter Crew, who was looking very strong in that match. Then they to win that too, and now Axiom, because I don't get it with that. Axiom requested match against Oba Femi because Oba Femi beat him up. Like, the Iron Survivor was one, it was every man for himself. So I don't get that. I'm not sure of that. But I would say it's a miscommunication with these two. It's been going on, and somehow I guess they keep swerving. When we think they're going to lose, they don't. And retaining, and now they got 2 matches next week. They're doing this double duty thing again. I don't like that because last time it was Nathan first did double duty. Now Axel doing double duty. And now we see that. And I'm talking about, like I said, for next week's matches, these two are going to be defending the tag team titles and actually go against Oba Femi. Like, come on. Like, I feel like we just went through this with Deadline. Why are we doing this against Nathan's Axiom? And I think that when you do that, and if they somehow retain these tag team belts and against Gallus, and Axiom goes with Oba Femi in a tag team match, they're not going to be a believable tag team anymore. I'm not going to believe it because you're making this tag team like a super tag team now. Like, they can never, ever, ever be touched. And I don't like that at all. Every tag team, any average tag team would have lost at that point. They would have lost the whole match and lost the belts. So I don't know what NXT is trying to do with this team, made them so super elite, unbeatable, despite being in 2 matches in one night. I don't know what's the whole angle of them. So I like them as a tag team, but I think they're trying to stall to see what else they can do with them, how they got to feel with each other, against each other. Against once they lose the tag team belts. I don't see them winning a third time. So I don't know what the whole angle is with these two. But the fact you got one half of the tag team in 2 matches in one night again, especially against Oba Femi of all people, and then you defend the tag team belts again later that night, and they beat them, it's not a believable tag team. You're making this tag team too unbeatable. And you know what happens if I see something where the tag team is too unbeatable?
You know what's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
I don't like this at all. I really hope they don't keep running with this. Now, if they lose the belts next week against Gallus in a tag team match, maybe this will do something. You know, if they do have them narrowly get close to retaining, but they don't, that will be somewhat as well. That will be believable. But I just don't see that happening. I just don't see it. I don't know the whole thing, but this tag team being too strong and too dominant, it's really starting to irritate me now. Like, enough is enough at this point. What are you trying to prove here with this tag team? Tyler, hey, salute to you. What's going on? But yeah, I don't know what they're trying to do with Nathan Frazier Axiom. I know they're one of the longest reigning tag team combined days. Like I said, on the deadline review, they only got 4 teams ahead of them. But other than that, though, I really hope that there's really a story with these two here. You know, I don't know if one of these guys going to turn each other, like I said, feud with each other afterwards. I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. But we'll see what's going on. We'll definitely see what the whole deal is with these two. We're going to see what's going to happen this upcoming Tuesday on NXT. That's all I'm saying. So that's nothing I saw wrong NXT. Nothing I saw wrong. And it's a recurring thing. Ren Sinclair. I hope that NXT do something with her soon. I know she's in the stable with No Catch Quarter Crew, Charlie Dempsey, Tavion Heights, and Miles Bourne. I get it. But I hope she's not just NXT just to lose all of the time. Let's be honest, Ren Sinclair, she loses about 85 to 90% of her matches. And I know she puts on a good effort. She don't get enough credit for what she's doing. So I don't know what's going on here. I'm not sure how they're doing this. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure how they're doing this. But this is not good. This is not good. I really hope that they do something. I really hope they do something. I'm not sure. I don't know what the next move gonna be. But I'm not. I gotta see what else is gonna happen with Ren Sinclair. She's a very underrated talent. Very good at what she does. I like how she moves in the ring, but she's always losing. She's always taking an L. Very good, funny character. Very comedic relief. I don't think she get her due. She kind of reminds me of Chelsea Green of NXT, someone that's talented, but they always on the losing side of each match, or majority of their matches, I should say, at least majority of the time. I like what she does, and I really hope that they do something with her. I really hope they do. Hope they don't just, not do nothing with her, just have her sitting on the sideline. But we'll see what else is going to happen later on. I'm just saying. Ren Sinclair is solid. I see some of her matches. As a Survivor Challenge, she did very well. I've seen her matches against one-on-one. She took a very good, made Stephanie Walker look good and Zarya look good. Both of them have defeated her. She just don't get her credit. She don't get her credit. But I hope she'll finally get her due at some given point. So we'll see what else happens with that. But I'm not sure what they're going to do with her. I'm not sure how this whole thing will play out. But I will say that maybe she'll finally get her due. Maybe we can see Ren Sinclair in the near future become a future Women's North American champion. NXT Women's Champion is a little far-fetched. But for right now, at least say be the Women's North American champion. Maybe the Women's NXT champion as well. But I don't like it. I wish they do more with her. And you know what happens if I see something like this happen.
What's going to happen? No. Words? No, you just made the list.
So, yeah. We got to see what's going to happen with Ren Sinclair NXT. I didn't like her at first. She was annoying, but she's kind of grown on me. She's looking good in her matches. I can tell she's in the Performance Center. Her and a few other people. I could tell the work is definitely starting to pay off for her. They got her in the stable. She's entertaining. But we'll see what else happens with Ren Sinclair next on the NXT brand. So only time will tell. So that's one thing I saw wrong with NXT as well. Another thing I saw wrong, kind of talked about this earlier. I mentioned these two earlier, but I'm going to go more to depth with it. We're talking about Jakara, Jackson, and Lash Legend. Question is, what brand are they on? What brand are these ladies on? Because one moment we see them on NXT, like tonight. Then we see them later on Raw. Then we see them on SmackDown. What's going on? What brand are they on? Now, like I said, I know that there's a transfer window going on. I'm aware of that. But now these two, they have a match next week on NXT. and they haven't been on NXT that much. And as you can see at the bottom, they're going to have the match against Sol, Ruka, and Zarya. So that's how that's going on. They're doing that. Now, however that match play out, whoever wins, whatever they do next, I'm not so sure about that, what's going to happen. But I do know that these two have been on. They always on each show. They've been doing this actually for the past, I want to say a month. For the past month, we see it. And they actually had matches on Raw and SmackDown. We've seen that with these two here. So I'm not sure how they're going to play this whole thing out. That I'm not sure. You know, there were rumors that they was already called up to the main roster. Then there were rumors that they weren't. So I'm not sure how this whole thing going to work out, of how they're going to do this thing. I know the last match, I want to say, was back in October. If I want to say. Maybe last October. I know they had a match on, if you guys remember, they had a match on SmackDown as well. Like I said, it's confusing with Jakara and Lash. What are they going to do with these two? What show are they going to be on? I'm just a little confused. We see them on one show, we see them on the next. You know, so I'm not sure how they're going to play it out with these two. Like I said, great women. Great entertaining characters. Lash Legend, I like her in the ring. Jakara Jackson, I'm not saying she's the best in-ring performer, but she's getting there. She's getting better than what she was. I remember she couldn't even do anything, drop anything in her life. But she definitely got better. Got to give credit where credit's due. So I'm not sure how they're going to do that. But I do know every time I look up, these two, they're either in the crowd, they're either lying around, or they may be in a match. You never know with Jakara and Lash. You never know. I guess that's how they want to book them. You never expect what to come next with these two, because they're always popping out of nowhere. They're literally popping out of nowhere. They're popping out of nowhere more than Randy Orton with the arcade out of nowhere. That's literally how it is with these two. I don't know how that's gonna go per se, but these two are always popping out of somewhere. I don't know how they're doing that. I've always seen these two on all these shows. Like I said, one minute they're on NXT, then they on Raw, and they on SmackDown. What show do you go to? Where do you belong? Where are they going to do with these two? Are they going to get called up to one of the main roster show, which I think it more likely is going to happen with these two. Let's just call it what it is. They more likely will get called to the main roster. I think they're on SmackDown Raw. Tyler, there's no official, it's not official what brand they on. It's rumors they've been called to the main roster. It's rumors, but nothing is confirmed of what brand that these ladies are on. Really honest, you said they attacked Jayne. I believe that's a conspiracy. I've been thinking that myself, actually. I've been thinking that. I actually been thinking that myself. Could that very well be the case here? So we will keep that hush hush. Look out for a video on that. May make a video about it. If not here, check out Pink Square Circle. May make a video about that as well. I've definitely been thinking that these two could be the ones to do it. But we don't know what brand these ladies on. It's still annoying to find out what brand they on. Like, what show do you belong to? What show do they belong to? That's all I'm saying. Are they on Raw? Are they on NXT? Or are they on SmackDown? We don't know. We don't know where they go. We don't know what show they're supposed to be on. That's all I'm saying. It's just quite annoying. That's all. It can get irritating. Very, very irritating how they're going to do this one here. Well, we just don't know at the end of the day. When it does come to the transfer window, I don't even know how long it's going to last. We're going to know what brand these two are going to be on And once again, guys, I mean, like I said, I'm pretty sure they'll do whatever brand they go on. I'm not doubting that at all. But once again, you know what happens if I think for 1 second, if I see something like this and I don't like the direction that it's going, you guys already know what happens when I see stuff like that. You already know. You already know.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So we gotta see what's gonna happen with Cara and Lash. Perez said they did it. Lash versus Cargill WrestleMania. Book it. Not a bad scenario.
And that is undisputed.
All right, guys. That's all for what went wrong with NXT. We are done with this part here. So, with that being said, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move forward. We're gonna go and head on to the bonus round. In the bonus round, we already know we are gonna talk about the current number one contender for the NXT Championship. We're gonna talk about Oba Femi. So let's talk about it. Well, I'm sorry. Before that, let's get to current news. Let's get to current news first. I pushed the gear too fast. Current news. Let's talk about what's been going on in the industry. Current news is, well, I've been hearing around reportedly, they said that there's going to be no Gunther versus Goldberg. They said there'll be no more. I heard that despite Goldberg making an appearance and getting face to face with Gunther, him and Gunther have a confrontation, and Gunther talking about Goldberg. They're supposed to have a match teased against Gunther versus Goldberg. I heard that's no longer the case here. They are steering away from that. Why, I don't know. That's what they decided to do. They're not going to no longer pursue that anymore. So we'll see what happens with that. But we'll see how that's going to go. They're no longer pursuing that match anymore. So we'll see how that's going to go for what direction they're going to have Goldberg go in. Because, you know, Goldberg is reportedly supposed to have his retirement next year, similar to John Cena. So we'll see how that's going to work out for Goldberg. Gunther, you know, he got a world title match. He got to defend against Finn Balor and Damian Priest. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. How that's going to turn out. I already got my prediction who's going to win that match. But other than that, guys, that's all I have for that particular thing. That's one of the current news going on in the wrestling world today. So you guys let me know. Are you guys mad at this thing away from this? Or are you happy that they got away from this and they're moving forward? And that's going to be no Goldberg versus Gunther anymore. You guys let me know. Next part, reportedly saying that people are pushing for Natalya to win the Women's Intercontinental Championship. We know that the women are getting 2 mid-card titles, one on SmackDown and one on Raw. And we know the Women's Intercontinental Championship tournament, we know that Natalya is in the tournament. She's reportedly supposed to have her first round match against Alba Fire and Kairi Sane, as Lyra Valkyrie already advanced, Dakota Kai already advanced. Then we're still waiting for a match between Zoe Stark, Raquel Rodriguez, and Kaden Carter. Who's going to win there? So we'll see. But they're saying that they really pushing for her to win this championship. And I think Natalya very well deserves that. You can't tell me no different. Natalya has put in work for years with WWE, future Hall of Famer, no doubt, putting the most matches of any woman in WWE history. Been with WWE since 07, 08. So definitely gotta give her props, give her due. So definitely well deserved with Natalya. I love Always admired her work. Really wish that she had won the championship a little bit more than just twice in her career, but that's neither here nor there. I know she's not the most popular woman on the roster. She's not a megastar, so that's what all that comes into factor, as well as wrestling skill when it comes to that. Other than that, though, they say that she may be the one to win an inaugural women's Intercontinental Championship. So we're gonna see what the next move's gonna be for Natalya. Other current news going on. Bronson Reed. Bad news for Bronson Reed. He is going to get surgery on broken foot. He's reportedly out 7 to 8 months and will miss WrestleMania 41. And he said he'll get surgery tomorrow. He is going to go ahead and get surgery on his foot. This is due to the match at Survivor Series War Games. So that sucks for Bronson Reed. Get well, get better. Can't wait to see you back soon. But I gotta say, with that spot War Games, I gotta put it on the list.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? You just made the list.
And that was for WWE, not Bronson Reed. Having him do that kind of spot with his size. Come on now. I really hope he'll get better. I know he will. And if you agree he'll get better, give me a yeet.
Yeet.
So get well, Bronson Reed. Now that's it for current news. We'll go into bonus round. And we're going to talk about Oba Femi. We're going to talk about, can he win the big one? Can Oba Femi become the NXT champion? Let's talk about it. All right. Let's talk about it. We're here to talk about Oba Femi. Will he be the next NXT champion? That remains to be seen. Oba Femi, there's not much words to say describing him. He has been a force to be reckoned with since he arrived on NXT. We know ever since he arrived on NXT, he has really made noise. He has become the North American champion. Not only the North American champion, he's been the longest reigning North American champion in history, surpassing the previous person that held that record was Wes Lee. I think it's 269, 270 something days, but he definitely made his mark. We know that he debuted in, I want to say, 2023. He immediately won the NXT Men's Breakout Tournament. He cashed in the opportunity on then champion Dragon Lee and became the NXT North American champion and had a very dominant NXT North American Championship run. One of the best championship runs in NXT, maybe in WWE ever. He defended championship in many triple threat matches. He had a great match against Wes Lee, Dragon Lee, Tony D'Angelo, who he lost to. He had great matches with him. He defended against a lot of good men on the roster. But now, ever since he lost that championship, now he has won the Iron Survivor Challenge at Deadline, and now he's going to get his opportunity for the NXT Championship at New Year's Evil, which will be January 7th. And now he's going to go ahead and challenge for the NXT Championship against Trick Williams in a one-on-one match. So that is going to be good. Tuesday, January 7th will be that match. And I'm telling you right now, my money's on Oba Femi. So I definitely see him winning this whole thing. It's without shadow of doubt is destined for him to win his title. I couldn't see it go down any other way but Oba Femi winning this championship. You couldn't tell me any other way that this will go down. Very well deservedly. I mean, Oba Femi, he has the look, he has the size, he has the speed, he has it all. And he's only going to get better in the ring. Let's be honest. Oba Femi, this man, I think he started out as a former track and field guy. He did the shot put. I read about him. He's from Lagos, Nigeria. The man is 6'4", reported 310 pounds. He debuted November 15, 2022, but on NXT brand, that was last year. He been signed since 21. So like I said, make that notate. Because he's been with the company for a while. And he's just been crushing it. He's been crushing it ever since then. Like I said, due to his track and field background, he went to University of Alabama. He won a shot put title in the SEC Indoor Track and Field Championships in 21-22. He's a great student athlete. He started out in Middle Tennessee State University. Very great athlete, has the size. I know he's a part of that Next in Line program that WWE has that just started. But now he's signed with WWE 21. Now he's won a title, North American title, and now he's fighting for the NXT Championship. And he's going to fight Trick Williams for this title. And I'm saying Trick Williams, he better watch out because Oba Femi may just have his number. And not only he's going to have his number, the only way for him to lose, he will have to lose due to interference. Shockingly, maybe if Trick Williams has some help inadvertently, or something getting his way. So, but I'll have to say this, like I said, Trick Williams, Oba Femi, this is a very good main event matchup. Oba Femi, he's only getting better in the ring. The only thing about this is, with this whole thing, two things are going to happen to him. Two things are going to go down with Oba Femi. He either wins the NXT title or he goes to the main roster. Plain and simple. If he does not defeat Trick Williams for the NXT Championship at NXT New Year Evil next month, he don't do that, he's going to go to the main roster. There'll be nothing else for him to do. He already won the North American title. He's not going to get in the tag team. He's not going to be in some stupid, silly storyline. I don't see that happening. It's over. He's going to go to the main roster. There's nothing else for this man to do. You can't tell me any other different. But I got my money on Oba Femi. I just want to say his work has been great. One of the best matches I've seen of Oba Femi was at actually this year NXT Stand and Deliver when he defended in a triple threat match against Josh Briggs and Dijak. It's one of the best triple threat matches that he duplicated that triple threat again. I think he also not only he took it another step, guys, this year with NXT being the champion and all. He also took it to a whole nother level when he also defended the title once again in a this man is on the fire. But like I said, I know he had a great rivalry against Wesley. That was an NXT Heat Wave. He did his thing there. But also he also did his thing as well when he defended the championship. I want to say NXT Battleground. He also had he defended the North American Championship and again another triple threat match. Now that was against, if I remember, that was against Wesley and Joe Coffey. That was another great triple threat match. It wasn't better than the Stand Deliver one, but he definitely did his thing there. So much respect to Oba Femi and what he does with the championship. Definitely put a lot of prestige on his title since he won it. And now he's going to go into the NXT title. And if when he does win this title, he's definitely going to put a lot of prestige on this title. More prestige than Trick Williams did. May even be more prestige than Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes did. Maybe even more than that. Because he's the dude. They're already saying that he's a future WrestleMania main event. Shawn Michaels' words, not mine. But I agree. He can be. He keeps it up, continue to work well, keep his nose clean and stay healthy. He could take it to the top. Definitely take it to the top. I will say that. But Oba Femi definitely has it. Definitely has the it factor. I mean, that's God-given talent. The man's that big, strong, fast, and could dominate at the same time. He's a one-man wrecking machine. Literally, no pun, literally, no exaggeration here. So he definitely got it. But I can't wait to see what he's going to do in this match with Trick Williams. Trick Williams is probably going to be his biggest challenge ever since becoming the NXT champion. I don't think he's ever used to facing a competitor like Oba Femi, of his caliber, his size, everything. He makes Trick look like a little skinny dude, and Trick's a big guy. He makes Trick look like a small dude. So Trick gonna have to do everything. Please don't use that trick shot, because Oba Femi gonna duck, or he gonna grab that leg and flip you over. So please don't do that. Find a new finisher or do something to get him out to not winning this championship. But it's definitely going to be a battle for the ages. Oba Femi, he's definitely going to be next NXT champion, or like I said, go to the main roster. And that's all I have regarding Oba Femi to become the next NXT champion. Oba Femi to win the NXT championship soon, then later. And it's his destiny. You guys let me know what you think about that. We talked about what was wrong with NXT, current news. We talked about NXT. And also, if you want to check out the ratings, if you want to rate the show, go to the community tab. People are saying right now, 72% gave this recent episode of NXT an A, 14% gave it a B, 4% gave it a C, and 9% gave it a D or F. So you guys let me know, what do you think of that? How would you do that? And we'll see how it goes from there. But Oba Femi, definitely future champion, no doubt about it. So thank you all for coming out, guys. Really appreciate it. Soon to videos will pop up, guys. You guys click the links below. You guys already know what it is at this point. It is OUT.
Something happened this weekend, and I've been struggling with it since I retired, but this weekend gave me closure.
Wow.
It really did. Like, it was fun. Obviously it was fun. I mean, you can't, doing this for as long as I have and being involved.